you do that thing?
Yes.
I don't hear anything.
Well, that's your problem. I hear it just fine.
Really? Okay.
Oh, you know what?
That's
It
fine.
helps if you plug it into the right place.
Well, that'd be cool.
You derp.
Well, I try. I'm just... Whoa, there I am.
Hey.
I should have looked for the thing.
Things that get plugged into the right things make noise.
Whoa. See, I've had a coffee issue this morning, and that was it in visual form.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
What's up, everybody? Now
Welcome
that I'm here.
back to the show. Now that Tucker can hear something. Not like we can't hear each other whilst sitting across the table from each other.
But I think I'm always concerned that me not hearing anything means...
Yes, I've been trying to shut you out of this since day one.
You have.
It's true.
It's slowly...
It's just
the
phasing
logos,
you out, phasing you out, phasing you out.
Yeah, it's just muted.
It's just going to be the beard.
Don't say that.
Talking to somebody who's not talking back to me at all.
Don't say that. It's my nightmares.
No, welcome back, everybody. Hope everyone's having a better day today than we seem to be having some of last week. Seems like some things have calmed down.
Yeah. Well, we were talking the other night and just kind of going, everything's fine, but not. Like, we're just kind of like, hey, you doing okay?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm all right. Just kind of like, it's this weird dark cloud thing that...
Yeah.
I don't know. But trying to...
Yeah. How was your weekend?
Eventful.
We're recording on a Monday, which is...
I know.
When I actually prefer to record.
I know.
Just for production
But I
sake,
think that,
we rarely get to it anymore.
Right. And going in full Tucker diva fashion, I had messaged you and was like, hey, I got some things going on that I cannot step away from, which is nice about our schedules that we're able to do that.
As long as we get it on Monday or Tuesday, all is well. Like I said, I prefer to do it on Mondays just because then it's less stressful for me to, edit it and produce it and get everything out into the world for our lovely viewers from everywhere. Picked up some New Zealand downloads.
Oh, did we?
Australia.
What's up, New Zealand? Congratulations
Welcome
on
to the land down under.
being
in the club.
The news today was that New Zealand is virus-free.
Nice. Congratulations, New Zealand. All the while, we here in Arizona are not.
No, our numbers are
steadily climbing, like the champions we are.
Yeah, just like, hey, if we're gonna do it, no. I hope that those start kind of.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, there's been massive testing blitzes going on over the last couple of weeks.
Right. I think that's been part of it.
Yeah. I don't know how many actual new infections we have, but we just have a lot more confirmed infections than we did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that, again, that it is just that. Right. I don't know if there's a vast deep state government conspiracy that's driving all of this.
I don't know. I think it's really easy to kind of fall into those kind of conspiracy things.
Oh, yeah.
And
Listen, I know where I can go with this.
I know. That's why I'm trying to reel you back.
No, I'm saying, so if I'm not going there...
Right.
I'm not saying that I'm some omniscient being who knows everything by any stretch of the imagination, but usually I've got an eye for conspiracy. Well, I love that stuff.
And I think that's why we're good match, because the other night we were with somebody and they started talking like politics, which, then you jump in and people are talking politics and okay, it starts to go, well, then leave it to me to jump in and just be like, Thunderdome. That's the thing. And so it's just kind of that's a good, we
balance each other out. Things that you get, you get riled up about something. I'm like, hey.
Oh, yeah, you know me well enough that it's like ridiculous reasons that I'll get fired
like we'll get fired up about stuff and the other one can talk the other one off the ledge.
Just be like, hey, did you think about it this way? Shut up, man.
No. Just let me be mad, bro.
I'm just mad about something stupid.
No, so here's some... I want to talk bombshells.
Okay.
You want to talk about life-altering actual serious issue bombshells.
Okay. Drop it.
Word
Drop
on the street
bombshell.
right now is that in the upcoming depiction of the X-Men in the MCU, Storm comes from Wakanda.
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Which she has in the comics.
Now, these are somewhat unconfirmed rumors, but there's a lot pointing to that's the road that they're taking. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out and how is that the tie-in to the rest of the Avengers?
Awesome.
I don't know.
No, I mean that's a great. They need to tie it in as much as possible.
But we're here
without it.
We're here breaking hot news.
Hot news. No, that's exciting. Just because I know in the comics, she does have ties to Wakanda, whether that be to Black Panther or whatever. But there's ties. So that's
because I have been kind of wondering. All right, we learned a while back. Once the Fox, Disney, Marvel Studios merger that's going on is being a real thing. We learned that the X-Men were going to be brought into the MCU, and ever since I've been wondering how.
I'm going to say this right now and again, we were just talking about being careful of going down this road or whatever, opening this can, because you and I can both talk about it but given today's climate and things that are going on in the news, is it not a great time to release X-Men? Because there is a lot of hidden undertones to the X-Men story, regardless of which way you take it, and that's what makes it great, that it makes it relatable, and there's a lot of hate towards a different
toward the mutants and all of that,
towards the mutants and whatever.
People are afraid of the mutants.
Fill in the blank of mutants, and you can so I think it's actually kind of pretty great timing to be able to do
for
that.
Sure. And it's also been somewhat like what it's looking like is that the X-Men will begin their introduction in Phase 4.
That'll be great, because
in the next 2 years, essentially.
Yeah, they need some heavy hitters.
Yeah,
to keep this train.
They're
going.
keeping some of the. They're not in this initial intro. They're keeping some of the bigger names out of it. Like the X-Men's first introduction to the MCU will not. Or at least it's not looking like, will include characters such as Wolverine. Not on screen. And even Professor X won't actually be on screen. He'll be talked about, but it's looking like Phase 5 is when they'll actually begin.
So are they going to
getting into the school?
I'm about to ask you questions like you're involved in the whole entire thing.
I was in the meeting.
Okay, thoughts. So are they going to kind of do it? Because what I enjoyed about them bringing Spider-Man into the MCU is they didn't do the same story of Uncle Ben. Like, we had been there.
Yeah.
We had done that a couple times. And
at least once too many.
Yeah, at least once too many. Andrew Garfield.
Come on, man.
Come on. You punk rockin'
do better.
Spider-Man.
Do better.
It's like an emo Spider-Man.
He wasn't as emo as Black Suit Spider-Man.
Well, that's true, but he was like... That was the greatest scene of any Spider-Man movie. Prove me wrong.
Get out.
But...
Welcome back to Just My Show.
Yeah.
Pay no attention to what this man says.
No, but I like the fact that they didn't do that. They talked about it. It was over here. But I did enjoy what they did do with the X-Men movies to a certain extent, is they did like the First Class, because Wolverine wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't there for quite some time.
I still haven't forgiven them for Origins.
Yeah, but the great part is some between Days of Future Past. Hold on.
Okay.
Between Days of Future Past and Deadpool 2. They have erased
everything they did.
They've erased the Origins movie.
Yeah.
They erased the Wolverine movie, which was actually good. The one where it was in Japan.
Sure. Yeah, that one was okay.
They had some things on,
but Origins.
That was the
Origins
Eric Bana
is
Hulk.
Yeah, well, Origins is to X-Men.
Okay.
As Spider-Man 3 is to Spider-Man.
You're not wrong.
It's just something we'd all rather forget.
And
I'm glad that they dug themselves out of that hole by giving Ryan Reynolds a proper Deadpool movie.
Yes, but then in the after credits of Deadpool 2, spoiler, it's been out for a while.
Yeah,
where he gets a hold of the time. Machine watch.
And he goes back through. I can't remember.
I don't know. I was like, it's the device.
Yeah,
and goes back and kills that version from Origins.
And Logan. Whew. I love that movie.
That movie is so good that I haven't been able to watch it.
Yeah, I've seen it twice. I have seen it twice. I saw it in the theater, and then
I know
I
that's
rented
that's a weird comment to make that I haven't, because it's so like emotionally.
It was good enough.
Yeah, that I'm just like, okay, I haven't watched it in a while. It is due for a thing. There's only one kind of storyline that I'll in that Logan movie that I'm like, okay, I could have done without. But
sure. But that's with everything anymore.
I'll give it the 9 out of 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's just the younger genetic clone.
Yeah.
I was like, it was okay. It was just, really? You want to bring in old Sabretooth or something? That would have been awesome.
That would have been awesome. See.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's why they...
Well, and for me, X-Men, I've been a fan of the X-Men since childhood.
Ditto.
Watched the cartoons as a kid. Really loved the comics. Just loved the characters.
Right.
Like, I don't know that there's an X-Men character that I don't like.
Yeah, there's...
Sometimes Cyclops is a prick.
Yeah.
But also, so is Logan.
Right. But they kind of need...
And they both...
They counteract
kind of after the
each
same
other.
chick.
Yeah. Which, Logan, move on, man.
Right? She's bad for you. She's bad for everybody.
Yeah, bad for everybody. So, yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of going back to the storm. That's exciting.
So, yeah, that was news that I learned of just this very morning.
Yeah.
So that's some kind of cool stuff.
This very morning.
Very morning.
But I just need them to do it.
I was today years old when I learned this stuff.
I need them to do it right.
I hope so. And I
think that they will.
I believe in them.
Right.
Because if they can't do X-Men right at MCU,
then it can't be done.
Then they just need to stop.
And I need them the next part of it or in there. If they don't do this, I'm going to be upset because it's right for the take. Is a good, legit Fantastic Four movie.
Disney already made the Fantastic Four movie one time, and it was called The Incredibles.
That's true. You're not wrong, but
it was like, hey, we can't license Fantastic Four,
right?
But we can make a better version of it.
Yeah, the Pixar version of it.
Yeah.
No, I would like to see a Fantastic Four. I do think that John Krasinski would make a great Reed Richards.
Yep.
And Emily Blunt as Sue Storm.
Okay.
And then
I did broke my heart.
You know who I want for the thing?
Who?
And it's my humor, but also I think is The Rock.
See here, so we're going into what really, aside from the terrible writing, and bad CGI, and every time they've tried to make a Fantastic Four movie so far.
Well, the first two, I still haven't seen the latest. I just can't break down and do it. That was CG, but the other one was it Michael Chiklis, and he was
that
in
broke
costume.
my heart, and he could have been great.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever watch The Shield?
Yeah, I saw some of it, but not.
Michael Chiklis could have been an amazing thing.
Mm-hmm.
They just ruined it.
Yeah.
I don't think The Rock should.
I think it'd just be funny. That's just my sense of humor.
Well, I mean, I get it. The name,
The Rock.
He's also a giant human being. But who should actually? Because he's got to have an attitude. You know, I mean, he's being used a lot right now. But
you're like Keanu Reeves.
No,
like,
no.
Listen, I think he could do it.
Oh man, what is going on in my brain?
Vin Diesel.
No, shut your dirty mouth. His name is here.
All right,
I just cannot spit it out.
All right, tell me a movie.
He played Venom. Tom Hardy.
Yeah, there you go.
Tom Hardy could make a great thing.
Yeah,
but I also don't want to overuse the guy for 5 different roles.
Well,
you know.
Yeah. I mean, he's not in the MCU as of yet entirely.
But I mean,
if he was in costume.
But I think that he could make a great thing.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing.
I was kind of forgetting about
the other
you.
Day.
Literally said Venom, and I was like, well, I'm anxious to see what they're doing with it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to be in the next Spider-Man Home movie.
I think I read that
they're trying to do.
They're still not going to reintroduce Spider-Man into the Venom storyline for at least like he won't be in Venom 2.
Yeah, I don't.
But
I'd heard that a rumor that might happen.
A third movie,
and then
that they're already spinning around with.
I think we had kind of talked about it. I can't. We have so many conversations. I don't know what's happened on the podcast or not. But Sam Raimi is doing the next Doctor Strange movie. And so it's rumored that there might be, and it's the.
We talked about that, I think, literally last week.
I see that we have.
And
well, speaking
of last week,
all things that have happened to you, and I was like, I saw you Friday.
Yeah,
it's been 2 days since I haven't seen you, and we've both been like, hey, we had this happen and this happened. Yeah.
I had quite the adventurous weekend.
I was gonna go with you. Well, I was gonna try to.
Listen, I'm so glad you didn't.
I was gonna say. Well, first of all, we had an interesting Friday.
Well, Friday, the day started. The weekend started Friday,
and I'm helping you with the story
some
because
interesting
it
things.
wasn't like a short night. You didn't get a whole bunch of rest Friday evening.
No.
So I'm helping your story here.
So Friday, we were co-hosting a community event with several other business partners around town, and it had the potential to be something really, really cool.
Yeah. Speaking of storm, yes.
So we were co-hosting a movies in the park event, which will be continuing every Friday night through the summer.
Yes.
Get that out there. Those aren't going away.
We won't be at every single event.
No, but we won't. The events are every weekend through the summer. Everything was going pretty well. I was doing a lot of running around.
Yep.
Because business happens.
Yep.
And right as I pull up onto the sidewalk, mind you, just like I own the place, I pull up onto the sidewalk. I open the door to my car to get out to come back to the event because I had been showing some houses and doing some of that stuff. But I hear there's these big canvas straps they're using to make sure that the giant 40-foot movie screen doesn't fly away.
Yeah, backing up. It's an outside movie event.
Yeah.
Giant 40-foot screen, inflatable screen that's tied down by these straps.
Yeah, and I hear these things start to just make this whoop, whoop, whoop. Sounded like a chopper was trying to touch down on the field full of people. Yeah. And then I get out of my car and tents go flying. It was like a scene out of a movie, out of a disaster movie. This could have been a scene out of Twister.
Yeah, and I was right in the midst of it.
Yes.
So while you were parking your car, you were talking to me on the phone because I was directing you.
You're like, hey, they'll let you just park right over here. I was like, sweet.
Because we were trying to load up our stuff.
Yeah, all of our camera equipment
and our merchandise and all that good stuff. And so I was like, hey, on the phone with you, just as I kind of hear some screams and the gust of wind, and I turn around like a scene from Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark beginning. I turn around as the giant canopy is rolling.
Is tumbling through the air.
And impressed with myself, I can now say, because I was like,
that was some Matrix stuff, man.
Some Matrix stuff, because I was, right hand is got the phone as I'm talking to you, and as the canopy is going over my head, I happen to grab one of the arms because it's about to go out into the street.
Yeah.
Grab it. The other one kind of hits my side a little bit, which didn't feel great as the moment, but was not the worst injury that I sustained that night.
Nope.
But, was able to grab it as everything was going flying. The screen came down and canopies. You came running over and we were able to start putting some
get the rest of the
down.
canopies down so that they didn't injure anybody.
Yeah, we had to go help a realtor that was
in distress.
That was doing that.
One of our compatriots.
She was trying to grab her stuff and canopies were going flying, so we had to go over, and they have these pull pins.
Yeah.
That we were trying to do, and the one that I was pulling wouldn't go. Like, it just wouldn't come out. And so I just had my hand just right that when I finally got it, it dropped and just bit me, and I'm like, I can't win. About to just start throwing stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were
so needless to say, that event got cut a little bit short.
Yes. It was about half an hour into the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe. That was luckily right before you had pulled up, I had put all of our merchandise and
back
stuff,
into the box.
Like, I had packaged everything up because I was like, the movie had started. We were there kind of hosting the pre-mixer thing.
Yeah. So it's not like we were going to be slinging T-shirts and hats at that moment anyway. So it was time to start packing that stuff up.
Yeah. So luckily, because we had our Rockstar Backstage Pass keychains, shirts, hats.
Which are, they're like little tiny plastic key tags.
They would have been gone.
Yeah. They would have been just...
Congratulations, Prescott. Everyone's
a member now.
Everybody's like, are those birds? No, those are just keychains falling from the sky.
Well, and they're little fellas too, but imagine, you see like photos after like a bad windstorm of like straw stuck into a telephone pole.
Oh yeah.
And these are way more dangerous than a drinking straw.
Right. They would
have cut somebody. I'm pretty sure of it. Had they been caught in some of those winds.
Oh, definitely. It would have been pretty gnarly. But yeah, no, I was happy you pulled up when you did, and it would have been far worse for me trying to grab things.
Yeah. Well, my folks were there, and they kind of stepped in to help, and there were some good Samaritans that from the audience who just kind of snapped into action and helped us out as well. So we appreciate all of that.
Yeah. So that led into Saturday, which you had canceled me. I was going to come help you.
Yes.
But you had a little family.
So my little brother,
if you will. Yeah.
My littlest brother, my baby bro, heads out on a little adventure, and this was on Thursday that this had happened, and got himself into a sticky situation. He was traveling by truck in a area probably not that his vehicle was not designed for.
Okay.
And he blew a tire. And then his jack broke. And then he had to call a search and rescue chopper to save him. So, that's Thursday. Or maybe it was Wednesday. I don't really remember anymore.
Right.
But, so the mission that we had was, Saturday morning, we thought we had everything lined up with the Park Service. It's kind of difficult when you're dealing with multiple agencies to get everything set up.
Right.
The area that he's in is accessible by some forest roads, but those forest roads, because of just all of the fire danger, are closed right now.
Oh, okay. So they had to open it up for you.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So we get to the first gate that we were told was going to be unlocked. And it was.
Okay.
So we assumed that our communication had been successful.
Right.
It was a good sign.
Right.
So we go, about 25 miles down some rocky roads. Nothing too terrible.
Right.
But, you wouldn't want to take your car on it.
Right.
Or in some places even a 2-wheel drive truck. Like my brother did.
Okay.
So we go down and we come up to another gate, which is not unlocked. Turns out just memos weren't received. Lines got crossed.
Right.
And so now what do we do? So some folks who were doing some work down there pull up to the gate and they're like, can you get out of our way? And we're like, well, we can.
We would love to.
But what we would also like to do is go straight through this gate to get our truck. Mm-hmm. And, understandably, they're like, well, we can't let you through because if we let you through and get caught and you're not supposed to be there, then we lose our access and we need to get down here to do the guy owned some ranch land that connects to this road.
Right.
So they're like, what we can do is we can take my little brother.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like his truck is on the way to where we're going. So they took him down there, helped him change his tire. They helped him get the jack under it.
Okay.
Everything seems like it's going to be just fine now.
Okay.
So I go home. Because mission accomplished. And my dad, who's in a separate vehicle. So, and this won't make sense to anyone who's listening from out of our area, but there's a road called Bloody Basin Road. Yeah. And it winds pretty far back. Mm-hmm. And then turns into another series of forest roads. My brother was given directions to go back on Bloody Basin Road. But there's a lot of little forest roads, and he made a wrong turn.
Mm-hmm.
My dad had taken Bloody Basin Road the correct way. Mm-hmm. He's almost to where my brother's truck should have been when it broke down. He's running out of battery on his phone. My brother's phone is dead. My dad has made it all the way back, and he goes, I should have seen him by now. I don't know where he's at. Because he had gotten himself stuck again.
Are you kidding me?
On this other road. And so, we all left at about 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
On this adventure. I was home by 3 in the afternoon. Because I figured,
it was done.
It wasn't going to take all of us to do this next part.
Right.
So I went home.
Right.
Because I was leaving early the next morning to go do something else.
Right.
But that wasn't the case. They finally, so they had, my dad and my brother had to cross the Verde River in their vehicles.
Okay.
In the dark.
Wow.
Just to get back. So when we got stopped at that locked gate, we were less than 3 miles away from my brother's truck.
Okay.
But we couldn't get through that gate.
Correct.
Because no one would come unlock it for us. Because they were like, you're not supposed to be there. It was a whole... Listen, I had some words with some people about asking me stupid questions that weren't productive to the conversation.
Right.
But whatever. I'm not going to get into that right now.
Right.
They finally let my brother and my dad back through that same locked gate at 11:30 p.m.
Are you kidding me?
And then it's a 2.5 hour drive out.
Wow. So they didn't get home till 1. Yeah. 1:30. Yeah. Dead phone.
Yeah.
Probably gas was
fine.
Gas was okay?
We're talking a lot of time, but we're not actually talking a lot of miles.
Gotcha.
All things
just
considered. Like I said, it took an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes to go 25 miles.
Right. Okay.
So gas wasn't the issue. Food was an issue.
Right. Food, water.
Water we were prepared for. We had... I had 3 or 4 gallons with me in my vehicle. My dad had about 5 or 6 gallons in his. My brother had a case of water bottles in his truck that Search and Rescue had left for him for when he came back to get his truck.
That's nice.
Anyway.
Wow, man.
That was a thing.
I'm glad everything is okay, because that was quite...
It was an ordeal.
Yes.
It was an ordeal. I felt really like... And then, my dad's like, I can't find him. It's getting dark. My phone is dying.
So I'm
freaking out and feeling guilty as hell.
Right.
Like, I shouldn't have left him.
Yeah.
But also, I thought we had it locked up.
Yeah, everything was covered. So the funny part that I can't help but laugh about, which would have been my involvement in this, because we had talked about, I was like, okay, yeah, like, let me know, and then you canceled me because you had help from Dad.
Yeah, we had it sorted out.
So what we had talked about was kind of I pictured it as like a Curious George book, but essentially like Tucker and the Beard
go on a search and rescue.
On a search and rescue, and which was entertaining the least. But what you're telling me is we would have driven 25 miles to be like, we can't get through this gate, which would have been such a perfect Tucker and the Beard.
It kind of would have been.
Just like this build up and just be like, we can't get through this gate.
Yeah.
Guess we better go home. And just
we're out.
We leave. And then just find out later that everything had fallen apart.
Yeah. And so we had actually called Search and Rescue again. Like, hey, remember that kid that you choppered out a couple days ago?
We can't find him.
We can't find him again.
Did they find it?
He got out on his own.
Okay.
Finally, and met back up with my dad. But again, when we got to that locked gate, we were on one side of a river. His truck was on the other side.
Right.
The conditions for crossing were questionable in a, higher clearance 4-wheel drive vehicle.
Right. Let alone.
The problem was my little brother wasn't in a 4-wheel drive vehicle.
Right.
He was in his truck isn't exactly what you might call light on its feet.
Right.
He's in a big, heavy duty, like mid-90s, all made out of cast iron and steel Dodge Ram pickup, 2-wheel drive.
Right. Which is not the vehicle to go
4-wheeling off.
4-wheeling.
It's just not. It's not meant for that.
Yeah. It's literally in the name, 4-wheel driving.
Yeah. So that was my Saturday.
Wow. All right.
And then Sunday we woke up early and went and visited some friends over in Heber Overguard, but that wasn't nearly as eventful.
But it's nice.
But it was nice. It was just me and the wife got to get away for the day.
Oh, it was just the two of you?
See some old friends. Nice, and that was really yesterday was an awesome day.
Nice, man. I was like, I had things going on.
You got woken up by jackhammers.
Dude, I have never, kind of backing up a little bit. So we've been kind of putting a, home fund together for a while, for a while now. I think I've been talking about like, hey, this is something we'd like to do. So we got it all lined up that landscaper was going to come over here. And I was just showing you pictures. It's not done yet.
I can see where it's going though. And it looks really nice.
We're at like, I'll say 85%. I don't know. Probably not that high, but we'll say 75. It's almost done.
Yeah. You're waiting on turf.
Some turf.
And finish work.
Yeah. Just cleaning it up and where it doesn't look as much like a construction site.
Of course.
But yeah, that's been like my last week. They started on Wednesday. And they've been there every single day. Thus far. They are not there today because, again, they're just waiting on the turf is in back order. But, yeah, the other morning, 2 mornings in a row, but they had to take some cement out. And so I get a text message, and it's pretty early up, but it's from the head guy, and he's like, hey, you still good with taking the cement out? Otherwise, things would have been not level.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, we're good. 2 seconds later, and it was 6:45 in the morning. Like I had heard them out there. And I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. He texts me. I respond. 2 seconds later, jackhammer. Just house is shaking. kids were asleep. At
Kids
least
can
2
see
out of the
through
3.
everything, man.
Oh no, my daughter freaked out thinking there was a helicopter that was like over our house.
That's
it was
awesome.
loud. And so luckily I'm friends enough with the neighbors that when it became an appropriate time,
Right.
that I was messaging them apologizing profusely. And when I saw them on the street, I was like, hey, I'm really, really sorry that they started earlier than I thought. I go by the 8 o'clock rule.
Mm-hmm.
Which
during the summertime in Arizona is a 6 o'clock rule sometimes. When it comes to trying to do hard work, it gets hot.
It wasn't.
You want to start at daybreak.
Right. It wasn't too bad, but it was when I saw the neighbors and everything. I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry if that was too early. And they were all like, no, it's great. So luckily that went off pretty well, but I've had landscaping trucks. Like, it looks like the money pit at my house. There's just construction trucks all down my street. And like, I had helped my neighbor friends buy a new house that we closed on last week. And so there was a U-Haul truck that was trying to do it. It was just kind of ridiculous.
Things got a little crazy. It
was just, and I'm a person that tends to feel bad if I feel like I'm putting someone out, or,
sure,
if I was trying to sleep at 6:45 in the morning and a jackhammer, I'd be like, listen, I'm not that guy that's going to go over and be like hitting your door.
Yeah.
But I'm going to not be happy about it.
But I'm going to remember it the next time you need a cup of sugar.
Right, exactly. So that's why I was like, hey, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But luckily I have some really great neighbors, and they're like, oh, nope, we didn't even hear it. I don't know how, but okay, you didn't hear it. Great.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Carry on.
So, yeah, man, it's just been a lot of thing. And right now it's like I've been our first day off from landscaping, and we're like tired. Like, my wife's texting me. She's like, I'm so tired. I'm like, I know, because we're just those people, like, when you're on.
Yeah.
And there's 6 people that, are hanging out doing work in your backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of being on. So we're just like, oh, my God. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm taking a little mini vacation coming up this weekend. So.
Oh, yeah, you are.
As is typical, I've already checked out. So I'm just trying to muster up motivation to get through the stuff that I need to get done this week, so that everything is lined up for me not answering my phone for 4 days.
There you go.
Pretty excited about that.
That is nice.
So
I'm going to make sure to call you and text you on a continuous basis.
I am going to block your number.
Don't act like it's a first time.
So, and yeah, I don't know. I think that's about it.
I was like, we're just working through everything else that we're doing. So, there will be another movie night this Friday.
Every week through here. Let me pull it up. Let me pull up the information so that we can do that. There will be a link in the description.
And we did the whole
for that
commercial and stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm working on today. Is we did some promo video.
Yeah.
So every weekend, every Friday through July 31st. So this week is Back to the Future. Next week is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Wow. Because if anything this world is right now is like the tunnel scene from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
There's no earthly way of knowing. That's one of my favorite movie scenes of all time, actually. Because it's so freaking weird, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's really weird.
It's just weird and it's creepy, but it's...
Right in the middle of this family movie just comes this really creepy, dark scene.
And it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's just perfect.
Yeah. But...
Dude, that gives me a great idea that we'll talk about off mic. Anyway.
This is what we do all the time.
So, that's it for us this week.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Be cool to each other. I promise.
Be good.
Everything's going to be okay. Someday, everything's going to be fine.
Yep.
In the meantime, be decent to each other.
Yeah.
That's it.
Stay cool.
Yeah.
Stay positive.
He's Tucker.
He's Beard.
And we're out.